call this meeting to order for Lookingglass Fire Department, June 16th meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would anybody care to offer an application for us? Okay, roll call. Jerry Harris. Here. Alan Smith. Here. Candace Spears is absent. Bill Starnes. Here. Chief Rhodes. Here. And Rob Holbeck is absent. Okay, do we have any additions to the monthly agenda? I've got review board applications. I'm not sure what we're going to do about that.
Were you gonna do the swearing in?
Unless we want to do the swearing for Paul.
I mean, we could add that to the agenda, like a new business or something, I don't know.
Well, we can do it under new business, that's
Yeah.
election update.
Yeah. And we can review, I got a certification sheet from the county that has, it's the actual canvas, it has all the voters and how, who voted for who and how much. And I spoke with Rob Holbeck during the week and he signed it, and because we had to have it back in by tomorrow. So it just certified that David Smith, Mark Bennett, Robert Cullen, Paul J. Reardon were all qualified. And
That goes to
it
county.
went back to the county voting. They asked just for one officer of the board to do it. So I met with Rob, if that's all right.
Yeah.
President.
He's president.
Still president.
And
Okay.
then you guys had talked about who signs the checks, that needed to be in the minutes. I don't see that on the agenda.
We can add that new business too, right?
Perhaps that could come up under the treasurer's report.
That'd be good.
Okay.
Okay, is there any changes to the May 15th minutes?
I make a motion, we accept the minutes.
Second.
Very well. We have a motion to accept the minutes.
I just want to state that should be May 19th, not May 15th, that it says on the agenda.
Yep, May 19th agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, financial report, Bill.
Yeah, I wrote 9 checks for $3,692.34. We have a very low balance. I have to transfer money tomorrow of $1,097.87. Our money market got us $9.30 in interest. Our balance and our money market is $219,040.21. I'd like to have a motion to pay the bills.
Move to pay the bills.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'd like to also see what we can do about putting in the minutes about our new elected board members, so we could get them down sometime in the first part of next month to sign all the cards, so we have people to sign checks and take care of the money. We need 2 signatures on our checks, and seeing I'm the only board member remaining, it wouldn't do me much good to sign the checks because nobody's going to cash them. So if we could get on the minutes saying who's going to be on the board, so we can get them down and make an appointment to get them down, to get them sign all the cards for the different accounts. I would appreciate it.
The 4 would be Paul Reardon, Rob Icola, Dave Smith. Help me out here. Who's your 4? Mark Bennett.
Here's the names for you.
And Bill Starnes.
Bill Starnes would remain on the board.
Sure.
That'd be easier.
So I'll furnish that for her for the minutes.
don't forget to say that I'm gonna still be on the board, so.
Yeah. I'll put
And
on,
they'll say, oh, you can't sign checks.
I wrote down,
If you make that motion, I think we have to make a motion that we remove,
Okay,
yes.
effective July 1st also.
Can I have a motion to remove the 2 existing board members?
Who are, yes, let's specify by name.
Would be Jerry Harris and Alan Smith to be removed from the check signing at the bank.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. If we got all that, Patricia?
Yes. So what I'll plan to do, since you guys are trying to get in after the 4th, right after the 4th, to get anybody in,
Well, yeah,
well,
I'll find out if we can go in individually or we have to go in at one time. And that way we can work around it. If we can get in before, we will. If not, I'll plan on it after the
Juggle with the board.
5th. After the 5th, depending on how everybody's scheduled.
Should be getting in kind of late on the 5th, so the
Well,
6th
figure
would
the
be,
6th or
the 6th I'll be fine,
All right,
yeah.
so I'll have the minutes to you
Okay.
guys before the end of the month.
Okay, okay.
For you, so that everybody has them.
all right,
For that.
appreciate it. Thank you very much.
What is the bank?
Pardon me? I'm called Bank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which branch?
I go to the one on Garden Valley. It's the closest.
Any other questions on the financial report or discussion? Okay, Jerry, you're up. Communications report.
All right, the report was posted on the website. The budget hearing, public notice, and proposed budget were posted. I could also post the resolution after today on the website if people think that would be appropriate to have that up there too. And aside from posting the various public notices for the public hearing and for the regular board meeting, I did, for this current board meeting, I did send in a public notice to the News Review, so the district will be charged for that. And I believe, Bill, as treasurer, I had sent you a copy of the email I got that had the amount of that.
When did you send it?
I believe it was last week.
Okay, I probably have it.
You should
Bill,
have.
the mail, I've been getting in the mail to the Bill's form. They send me a
I
copy.
sent it to you also.
Yeah, they send me a copy of the mail of the actual thing in the post date. And I saw it in the paper.
I don't remember if it was around $57 or something like that.
It was in the paper also, I cut it out.
Good, you saw
A
that.
copy of it.
Great, thank you. That's all I have.
You and I will be removed off the email and all of that.
Oh, yes, thank you. Technically, after June 30th, all passwords should be changed to all accounts. But since the new board won't be taking effect yet, we don't have somebody taking over as communications officer. That position will be elected by the new board members at the July board meeting. So I guess to make a transition,
You're stuck.
I think I need to stay on, at least to keep things updated, like the website needs to continue to be
Get everybody
updated.
passworded up.
So, if that's acceptable to everybody, I will continue to do that until we can transition over to the new communications officer.
Appreciate
I
that.
think
And
we
then
might-
for all online accounts, and I have a list of them, all passwords will need to be changed, as well as
It's door locks.
our door lock passwords will need to be removed. So Chief, I don't know who does that.
Yeah, and then I have to meet, the company that did it, they come in, it's computerized, they put a little HDMI cable across to it. And then also, the new board members will have to have a 6-number password. We have some pre-programmed in there, but with 6 numbers, it's usually better to pick your own, so that it's something you can recognize, rather than having 6 random numbers, so. And then that gets you in, that gets a password into the station. And then we have some keys that need to be moved
I have keys to turn in to the mailbox
Yeah.
and to file cabinet also.
So do we have a list of stuff that needs to be done when someone leaves?
There's some information in the operations manual,
Yeah.
and that manual is online.
I thought to make a quick checklist.
And then the question comes up also as to who is going to handle the orientation that is mentioned in the operations manual. Each new board member is supposed to go through an orientation process about the fire department and about the district, various policies.
Was that something the chief should do,
Uh,
orientation?
Well, I would
I don't
suggest the
remember
one
doing it
remaining
myself.
board member
I
along
don't
with the
remember
chief.
doing it myself.
What I wanna do before July 1st was just copy the bylaw, the operations manual part on the positions, so that when they come to the next meeting, they'll know what positions we're supposed to have, there's 5 of them. And also on safe personnel through SDAO, I can get them all their accounts, and
Great.
George Dunkel, the guy that came down and trained us originally on governance, you know, like, so that you're up to date on public noticing and all the voting and everything else. And it's a video, and it's cut up into about 5 sections, so you don't have to sit there for an hour and a half and watch it. But, and he's pretty good entertaining guy too, so. But I was gonna try to get that emailed out, and a copy of the positions emailed out anyway, so that you guys have a little bit of a head start if you're interested on it before the next meeting.
And will you be removing the departing board members from accounts with SDAO?
Yeah, I can do that too, unless you just guys wanna get some training.
You always use volunteer.
There's a lot of training available through
Yeah,
SDA.
there is.
There's a lot.
Anyway, yeah, and I when I go into the safe personnel, that part of the training thing, I got a lot of people I need to clean off. I was looking at the list the other day, people over the last couple of years. I have all their emails from the budget committee stuff, so I'll probably send them out. If you guys see that coming at you, that's what it is.
Okay, Jerry, thanks, and thank you for willing to hold on and during the transition. Appreciate that, it'll be a big help. Public comment, you only get 2 minutes.
Time's up.
Rob, do you have anything, or? All right. Move on. Chief Rhodes.
So, our chief minutes from May 21, we had 24 calls in the month, 12 medical, 4 structure fires, 6 natural covers. It started off real fast before the rain hit, and 2 public safety assists. We went on a structure fire in Camas, assisted 2 in District 2. We also had a structure fire in our area. Kitchen fire resulted in about $140,000 damage and displaced a resident. It started as a cooking fire, a pan of hot oil on a stove, got up into the cabinets and everything else. We've been doing a lot of station training. We have the burn trailer here. We've been burning on Thursdays. We'll be burning this Thursday, tomorrow night also. That'll probably be the last time. It's going to be leaving here in a week or 2. It's been really good having it here because we got our new SCBA's in, so we've been using that as a way to familiarize ourselves with the SCBA. So we've been using our new ones exclusively when we've been in there.
Everything's working good on those?
Yeah, one of them that came had a computer issue, and we haven't got it back yet. It went back to the factory, so.
It's also a warranty thing?
Yeah, good. We had 2 personnel went to live fire instructor certification training, and last week up in Salem, and we're hosting a class, a state class tomorrow night here with county-wide participants using that trailer also. We have a firefighter that's certified as instructor 1 is another new one, firefighter 1, and an urban interface firefighter. So they've been going around doing some of the state classes. Way back in May, we participated in the cleanup day parade. Let's see, explorers are all turning 18. We gotta get back down into the high school down there and start with a whole new batch. We haven't taught down there for a couple of years, and I gotta get some new youngsters again, so we'll be looking at that this next fall. major issues on the equipment. We have a portable pump that we used up at the Archie Creek fire last year. We loaned it to Glide. Over the winter, it seized up, and we're working on getting it repaired right now. We got a lot of new stuff through the state for sanitation and protection from COVID again. That's been a real help with us on our medical budget this whole year, because every time gloves, masks, or anything pop up, we've been grabbing them, and we have more than enough for next year now. We got a new stair chair for lift assist. We've had multiple calls last month for invalid type people that can't get around, and so we got a chair that's designed to safely move them up and down stairs and stuff. I have it outside. It's got seatbelts and stuff on it, so you don't drop people when you're carrying them around, and it handles for carrying and stuff. So normally those are on the medic units, but we were getting so many calls, and they weren't medical aids; they were just people that had gone down, and so we were impacting the medics around here a little bit. So by us having that chair, we can handle those calls for ourselves. We got our first BFA grant money for this year. We bought more 1 3/4 hose, and also we took a class on Stop the Bleed and got all the equipment for that, and that's all the gunshot assault type Israeli bandages and tourniquets and all those kind of things. So we have that in all of our equipment now. Bring the brush pile and brush hog and trim the second time. Now it rained again, we'll probably be doing that again, I imagine. And we had our annual backflow test by Popeye's Pumpkin Backflow. In office, we finished the budget, made the notifications, we completed the LB 50 and LB 1, and the resolution are done. And when that's all done, then that has to go down to the county by July 15th. We got our first department physicals and stuff done with OcuHealth, and in fact, one of the bills was in our bills we paid tonight. Workers' comp update's been received. It's due in August, so we're gonna have that in the July bills. It's within budget, about the same. Let's see, a lot of the board and budget info and the names of the new board members and stuff all have to go to the SDA also. So I'm gonna get that done here in the next couple of weeks. The election certification and canvassing came in, and we'll have a copy of it here, but it talks about the total votes for all the candidates in all the precincts. And there was a certification letter that we talked about that we'd sent back. President Holbeck had sent back. We have a $500 cash donation from a citizen after, gosh, what did I see? Oh, I met him at a funeral for one of our old timers here in town, and I talked to him at the parade. Every few years he comes in and gives us a cash donation. So he designated that for the firefighter safety equipment. And as soon as I got that, first of all I do is I contact somebody else quick, so I have $500. I don't want it in my hand, so I talked with Bob, and I also talked with the board.
Yeah.
I talked with one of our board members just to let them know I got it.
It's already deposited.
And it's been deposited, so it's gone. I really appreciate it. He doesn't want to be identified, but I'm sure someday he'll want to be identified. He used to live here in Lookingglass. He doesn't anymore, but he's still associated with business out here and stuff. So I think that's it.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, I guess we're into old business. And we're gonna talk about board election updates, if we have any.
So that was just the certification.
We kind of just discussed a lot of it already.
We talked a little bit about the fact that the terms start July 1st at 0001.
Right.
And then the first board meeting, they'll get sworn in according to our policies.
Can we get him sworn in tonight?
Can we do this?
So that was a question I found out today, legally, that because Paul Reardon is filling a position 5, which is in the middle of a 2-year unexpired term, he could be sworn in tonight and fill that out if the board so chose.
I make a motion to do it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. We will,
Bring him up and swear him in.
we'll swear in Paul Reardon.
All right.
I,
I, Paul Reardon,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
the Constitution of the State of Oregon,
the laws thereof, and
The
the
laws.
policies of the Lookingglass Fire District,
the laws thereof, the policies of Lookingglass Fire District,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of director according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
and I will faithfully discharge
Duties
duties,
of director. That'd be best.
discharge duties of director according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Thank you.
So, let's see.
Does he sign that?
No, that's just.
We actually are not required to have a signature, but we'll keep it. So
He can sign, well,
he can sit in
A
front
bank.
now, though, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He can have his own throne.
Yeah.
Sure, take a pick. You're on.
All right.
So
I'm sorry, I did.
his position was position,
Five.
Fine.
well, I was gonna put it in the board on the old business board election that he was sworn in tonight for position 5.
Okay.
But of the elected position 5.
For clarification,
That was
even
an
though he was
unexpected
sworn
turn.
in, but he doesn't take effect as a board member until July 1st, is that correct?
Right.
Well, for his
No, I'm
position,
still-
but
Well, he's
he's,
still in for Kansas.
he can't take over the unexpired vacant position, which he has.
Before her term expires?
Yeah, if she's
Yeah.
not here, yeah, and she's absent. Yes.
But it's
As a
really
de
just
facto-
for the rest of this month anyways. or
Right,
something,
but
right?
we'll have a resolution that we're going to be voting on. So if you're sworn in and you'd like to join
Right.
us,
Okay,
then you can help vote on the resolution.
okay, can I?
And for the resolution, we would have to
We'll have to change.
change the name.
Yeah.
I can think we can
So I
just,
get to move to the front seat, huh?
I would think we could just write in to change the name.
Yeah.
Do you have a copy of the resolution?
Yeah, there's one good one that's red. So we'll have to-
There's one here.
This is the official red one that maybe you guys can sign when you're done, because I'll have to
This
take
one, I
that
think
down
this
to
is
the county.
it.
Yeah, this is
This one's red too.
Is it? Oh, good.
Yeah.
I got two.
We forgot
How'd
to
you get that?
I,
We need
Don't
two
know.
copies, don't we?
Did you write on it?
no.
If we put it in front of me, I would've wrote on it.
Do this resolution.
That's what I did. I do this.
Are you gonna, would you like to read this
Is
resolution?
that where we are?
Once again, yeah.
Is new business?
Yep, new business.
New business resolution, oh my god. This is the one from last year. Okay, where is it?
Here, you read this one.
I have that one. Resolution 2021-01, a resolution to adopt the fiscal year 2021-22 budget, make appropriations, and close and categorize taxes. Resolution adopting the budget. Be it resolved, the Board of Directors of the Lookingglass Rural Fire District hereby adopt the budget for fiscal year 2021, in the amount of
Sign again.
$747,799. This budget is now on file at the Lookingglass Fire Station, 7173 Lookingglass Road, Roseburg, Oregon 97471. Resolution making appropriations. Be it resolved, the amounts for the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2021, and for the purposes shown below are hereby appropriated. General Fund, Fire and EMS Organization Unit, $74,280. Transfer to the Equipment Fund, $25,137. Contingency, $15,000. Total General Fund appropriations, $114,345. Unappropriated end balance, General Fund, $25,000. Total General Fund requirements, $139,345. For the Equipment Fund, Fire and EMS Organizational Unit, $64,382. Contingency at $10,000. Total Equipment Fund appropriations, $74,382. Reserve for future use, $105,590. Total equipment fund requirements, $179,972. The grant fund for the fire and EMS organizational unit, $428,482. Total grant fund appropriations, $428,482. Total appropriations for all funds was $617,209. Unappropriated and reserved for future use of all funds is $130,590. Total adopted budget, $747,799. Resolution imposing the tax. Be it resolved that the following ad valorem property taxes are hereby imposed for the tax year 2021-2022 upon the assessed value of all taxable property within the district in the amount at the rate of 0.5077 per $1,000 of assessed value for the permanent rate tax. The resolution categorizing the tax. Be it resolved that the taxes imposed are hereby categorized for the purposes of Article 11, Section 11B as permanent tax rate, general government limitation of 0.5077 per $1,000, excluded from the limitation, none. The above resolution statements were approved and adopted on this 16th day of June 2021.
Yeah.
Here's your 2 copies, Steve.
You gotta make a motion.
Can I have a motion to approve the budget?
I make a motion.
It's the resolution.
The resolution?
I'll move to approve resolution 2021-01, a resolution to adopt the fiscal year 2021 to 22 budget, make appropriations and impose and categorize taxes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. You got a budget.
All right. So now I just go back on the budget we had, we're working on. The furthest column on the right is adopted, and then we'll post that out. That'll be on the calendar. We'll put that on the website for
Right.
later. Yeah.
I have a question on Candace's signature line. Can Paul sign that?
His name is not a.
He's not on it, it doesn't cross it out.
I suggest, right, for the copies that we're signing, Paul, that you cross out Candace and put in your own name.
Because I was sworn in, so.
Right.
It's legit. All right.
And I'll make sure to mention that when I take them in, because they get a copy of the resolution, your county does.
County.
Yeah.
And I'll make sure that it's noted in the minutes that Paul was sworn into. Or I was gonna say position 5.
And it was clarified, who did you talk to about that, Steve? So that could be mentioned in the minutes, that his taking over at this meeting.
It's the Oregon ORS, it's called a de facto officer. I got it, actually, it's downloaded on my phone.
Well, maybe you can let
They're gonna have
know
this as de
later.
facto office.
That way we'll have documentation of the grounds for him being on the board
I
right
think
now.
my phone's enough, everything, but I got they wrote me a letter and told me that.
Who is gonna be in charge of these, the signatures?
I'll take them.
You got a stack.
We're gonna put them in our,
You gotta get Rob to sign it yet.
well, we can, or else we can just say, because.
Not
the
present.
quorum
Yeah,
is
they're not
signed, so-
present.
It's enough for quorum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we had 4 people.
Yeah, 4.
So one of these goes in our resolution manual, I just copy 2 for the county and the state.
Under new business, you guys wanna go back the second Wednesday of the month?
That's up to Steve.
We've been doing it on the third
Yeah.
Wednesday to accommodate Rob Holway.
But isn't it in the bylaws?
The bylaws do say the second
The
Wednesday.
second Wednesday, but we were
Right.
changing it every month, so.
So my suggestion is that we have a motion to return to the second Wednesday of the month as specified in the bylaws, since there will no longer be a time conflict.
Can I have a second on that?
I got a question before I do that. The only the time thing we have is, trying to get our bills in on time by the second, seeing sometimes the second Tuesday is like, boom.
Okay, but it is in the bylaws
Oh, I
to
know.
have the second one. So the
Unless
new
you change
board,
the bylaw.
you know, if they want to
Change it.
revise the bylaws,
Okay.
to change it to the third Wednesday,
All right,
that's up
I'll
to the new
second-
board.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
So I'll need to get the meeting dates changed for the Zoom meetings that have already been scheduled for future months.
The one bill we had problems with,
Yeah.
just to mention, was the credit card bill. It was due by the 19th every month, and mail wasn't working. So we're doing that online now, so that's been taken care of. We're doing it as a draft.
What I was thinking about is sometimes the second Tuesday drops like boom.
Yeah, like the 8th or something.
Right, and then trying to get it into the bookkeeper and get it, our reports back is sometimes a nightmare. You know, Jared, you're trying to get it in, and she's dumping it on your lap
Right.
at 5 o'clock on the night of the meeting, you know? How's he get it on the computer and everything in that length of time, so?
I don't know how we did that, but
I don't either. I'm glad somebody will have that.
Okay, President's report, well, he's not here. Director's reports, anybody have anything? No? Okay. I guess, public comments.
We have board member comments first.
Oh, sorry, yes, jumped it.
I have one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to remind all the board members who will be leaving the board to please turn in any district keys and your district binders need to be turned in. You may want to remove notes you've been taking over the years or whatever, but the binders will also need to be updated with more current information.
Yeah, mine's rather old too.
Yeah, so all these binders will need to be updated, but all the information that's in the binders, in terms of our policies and chief's reports, other reports, all those kinds of things are available on our district's website.
Yeah, I took a lot of that out of mine, because it was,
Yeah,
I could hardly carry
most of us are working electronically, so it's kind of difficult to carry these binders
Yeah.
around, especially when you accumulate a lot of material over the years.
We, the ex-secretary used to go in, I know she did hers and mine, would go in and go through the binders and pull out stuff and file them in the file cabinet, so you don't have to carry, you know,
Yeah, there should always
40
be a
pounds, 40 pounds
paper
of paper
record
around.
here.
Hey, under board member comments, I forgot to do something under my thing. That was my evaluation that's been going on for about 3 months.
Yes.
So the quorum of the board, Director Harris and Smith, Director Smith and Director Starnes all completed evaluations on me, so I do have it, and I guess it's complete. We have a single signature card, so Bill and Jerry signed it, and we compiled all of them, so if you want to sign it, and I'll sign it. And then, I don't know, I guess I'm stuck here while you guys all go home. As part of that, what I want to say, I don't have a chance here at the end of the meeting to say anything, but I just wanted to thank Jerry and Alan and Rob and Candace. They all stepped up to come here to the board. And when Jerry's been here a pretty long time, and when he came on, we were in dire straits. I was feeling pretty bad.
Well, I know-
What was going, where the district was going, and during that time with Jerry and Robert Rodriguez came in, and Brenda Best, and then Brenda, and then Bill and Al and everybody else. You guys have been really supportive of our department and the people here. At one time, we were kind of adversarial between the fire department and the board, and it was really bad. And I think that we've been thriving. Financially, we're strong. Organizationally, we're strong. And I think right now, personnel-wise, we're back in that cycle where we're starting to ebb off a little bit. so we're gonna have to go at that real hard again. But your guys' what you guys have done in the past years have really helped us out, so I really appreciate what you did. And, I don't know, throw a t-shirt or hat in or something, I don't know what else to do. Have a dinner for you.
$25, right?
Have a dinner for you. Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys all learn that in your governors, what you can accept and what you can't.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
Okay.
that's what I gotta say.
Yeah, my comment is I appreciate, I enjoyed being on the board. And I hope you have a good time with it. It wasn't hard, it's not hard at all.
Well,
Steve runs a real tight ship. He's real
I'll tell you,
good.
the first 6 months I was on the board, the meetings would last 2.5 hours.
Well,
And the president walked out 4 times, I think, and the secretary walked out twice in the first 6 months I was here. And the meetings were 2.5 hours long. Now there might be an hour long.
well, they're big.
And that man is, he said something about downsizing. I said, great, sell part of your property and just stay where you are. You're downsizing.
Hey,
I'd like
Sorry,
to
go ahead,
just
Jerry.
comment. Yeah, I'd like to express my appreciation to Chief Rhodes for all the work that he's done over the years, you know, to bring us to the point that we're at. Steve, you've done a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
Thank you. And I'd like to thank all the newly elected board members for stepping up, taking some responsibility to help support our community. So thank you.
Glad to be here. I want to give something back to our community. I moved here 5 years ago, and I just love living here. I watched it change a lot in the last 5 years. It's really come up. It was, when I first moved here, there was some druggies, and in fact, the house I bought was a squatter house that there was all kinds of drugs going in and out of. So, and I've watched them all leave in the last 3 or 4 years. So it's nice to see. It's a good community now. A lot of changes.
It's really interesting what's going on here. A lot of the old timers are moving on or passing on, and we have a real core of young people coming in here, either upgrading or building new homes and going out. It's pretty interesting.
We got a new couple moving in right up the street from me. He's a, what do you call it? He does all the repair work for one of the mills. Him and his pardon me?
No, right?
Yeah, he's a millwright, and he just bought a place up the road from me on Touchdown. And he's got 4 young boys. I think one's just going into high school. So we got some new people moving in up in that area, so.
It'd be a nice community. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Hey, public comments. Last chance.
I was just gonna tell Steve he needs to post out on the board again for the Explorer.
That's right.
That's how Kevin
Kevin
got in.
got in.
That's how Kevin got in.
And we're all hoping that Kevin fails out of college, so he has to come back. Probably never happen though.
I hope
Not right
not.
away.
I didn't raise him to come home.
Yeah.
Until I turned about 75 and then he didn't come take care of me.
Okay, the next meeting is July 14th, 7 o'clock. With that, we're adjourned.
Very good. So, what did they have been secret about?
You want to